Everyone, this is Muhammad Sabir in front of you. I am from CSM branch. I am pursuing my BTech in Srinivasa Ramanujan Institute of Technology. Today, my topic in Introduction to Programming is function called syntax. So, before we discuss our topic, let's see what we are going to discuss in this session. So, here is an outline. So we will discuss an introduction, that is what is meant by functions and definition of function, and then let's see some advantages of functions, and then function declaration, that is how the function is declared in the C program, and then some types of function, and then we will see function called syntax and some examples, two examples on function call. So let's start our session. Introduction. We all know that C is known as the procedure-oriented programming language. Since in C, every program is defined as a function which contains the procedure to process the data. C function contains set of instructions enclosed by these brackets which performs specific operation. So every operation in the function is written in these brackets. Like every C program starts with a user defined function, that is main function. So every function, every program is started from the main function. So you can see here, when a new program is implemented, main function must be defined. Every function will be defined after when the main function is executed. So let's see what is meant by function. So here is the definition of the function, that a function is defined as a block of code that performs specific task when it is called. In other words, a function is defined as a subprogram. So let's see some advantages of functions. So C functions are used to avoid rewriting the same logic or code again and again in a program. So it takes less space complexity, and then there is no limit in calling C functions to make use of a same functionality wherever required. So we can call the same function any times in a program. So we can call functions any number of times in a program and from any place in a program. So a large C program can easily be tracked when it is divided into functions. So the core concept of C functions are reusability, dividing a big task into small pieces to achieve the functionality and to improve understandability of very large C programs. So let's discuss some types of functions. So functions are divided into two types: built-in function and user-defined function. User-defined functions are once again two types, that is function with a written value and function without a written value, that is void function. So what is meant by void? Void is a null, means zero. So you can see here clearly that functions are divided into two functions, that is predefined functions means built-in function like printf, scanf, puts, gets, etc. And then user defined functions means main function and some other functions which are defined by the user. So let's discuss about the types of functions. So depending on whether a function is defined by the user or already included in the C compilers, there are two types of functions in C programming. The two types of functions in C programming are standard library function and user defined function. So what is meant by standard library functions? The C standard library functions are simply library functions or inbuilt functions in C programming. For example, if we want to use print function, that means which prints the given data in the output. So the header file should be standard input output.h. Shortly we write it as stdio.h. So stdio.h means standard input output.h. H means header file should be included. So there is at least one function in a C program, that is the main function, is automatically called when the program starts. So every program starts with the main function. So here some examples you can see in the picture that is related to standard library function, that is standard input.h and then conio.h, string.h. String.h is used to write the strings, and the standard library which is used for file handling, and then max.h which is used for the max or mathematical operations, and then time.h. So here are some standard library functions. So now let's discuss about the user defined function. So what is meant by user defined function? A function is a self-contained block or a subprogram of one or more statements that performs a special task which is assigned when it is called. And these user defined functions are the functions which are created or which are defined by the user. So C allows programmers to define functions. Such functions created by the user are called the user defined functions. So the implementation of the functions in C program is done with the following three elements: function declaration, function definition, and function call. So let's see elements of user defined function, that is function declaration, function definition, and function call. So let's see function declaration. A function should be declared before defining it. It can be identified with a function name, a list of parameters, and the type of data written by it as a result. So let's see the syntax of the function declaration. Return data type function name or parameter data types. So return the value data type function, that is int, float, character, and the name of the function and the parameters that we use in the bracket. Okay, and the next function definition. So implementing the function as per the task done by a function as a sequence of statements is known as function definition. So what is the syntax? Return data type function name as usual, and then data type 1 variable 1, data type 2 variable 2, and thus so on. So function call, this is my topic. So function call is a statement used to do the following points. Any functions get executed only when it is called by the another function, and this function is called by the main function, that is main important function of the every program. So to establish the communication between two functions, to pass the arguments, that is input takes the data as values as reference to a function. So main function gives the reference to the user defined function. So here you can see the syntax, function name, arguments of list, and how this function call is declared in the main function. So first we will write the function name in the main function, and what we are going to give the inputs to the above function to call the function and to do the operation. So let's see here an example. You can see here this is the standard library function, that is hashtag include less than stdio.h, which includes the library that printf, scanf, etc. So this void India, void means return type 0, and this India is the function name, and this parenthesis and then flower bracket. Now we are going to write printf you are in India and then return. So into main, so every program, as we know, every program starts with main. So India, and we call this function return 0. So let's see how this function will, or how this program will execute. So first, every, as we know that every program starts with main function, so the compiler will go into the main function, and here it says India, this brackets, it means it is calling to the India function. So it will search to the India function and it will goes into the India function, and here it says printf you are in India. So here it prints you are in India, and then it will return. So after the return, after it sees the return, it returns to the main function and it will return as return 0, and this code will be end. So let's see another example, swapping of two values by using the another variable, that is temp, by call by reference. So you can see here void swap, that is function name, and int star x comma int star y, these are the parameters. So int temp is equals to star x is equals to star y is equals to temp, return. So int main, in the int main function, int a printf, enter the value of a, scanf %d and a. So here the computer will take the input from the user for the value of a, and then int b printf, enter the value of b, and scanf percentage and b. So the computer will take the input from the user for the value b. So swap and a comma and b. So and a and b reference to the address of the a and b, and this main function calls to the swap function, and here it goes to the swap function and int star x int star y, and here we given the parameter and a and b. So here our star x star y represents the value present in the and a and b. So int temp, as we know that temp is equals to star x, so star x presents a, so temp will store the value of a, and here star x is equals to star y, the value present in a is equals to b, and then the value stored is the b value stored is equals to temp, and then return, then printf value of a is equals is %d backslash n a, and printf value of b is %d slash n b, return 0. So here is an example, that is the output of the given values, that is a is equals to 5 and b is equals to 3. After the completion of all the code and after the swapping, the values are changed, that is value of a is 3 and the value of b is 5. So this is my topic about function called syntax, and thank you for listening this topic till the end. Thank you.